The following newscast is based on the wide world of social media. The stories are real. The reporters are really real because they are you, the members of social media. All Facebook names have been abbreviated for user protection. This is the Social News Media Network.
The SNM Network, the only weekly newscast reported by you, the wide world of social media. I'm Hologram Cosell. Colin is off tonight. We begin this week with entertainment news as our top story focuses on a surprise hologram performance by an allegedly deceased rapper at the Coachella Music Festival, which isn't very nice considering that most of the people there are on drugs. Either way, video of the performance soon spread across social media, prompting a myriad of reactions, including our talentless Twitter reporter Kim Kardashian, it's the real her, who noted, "Just now seeing this Tupac hologram at Coachella. OMG, dopest thing ever. Wish I was there to see it in person." Wait for this. Reporter Jenny Johnson High Five conveyed an astute response to Kardashian as she replied, "You can't blow a hologram on a happy face." Even a parody account of Kardashian's boyfriend got into the hologram hype as Kanye tweeted, "Yo, hologram Tupac, I'm really happy for you and I'm gonna let you finish, but Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the best holograms of all time." Still with the Taylor Swift. Even Obi-Wan's arch rival, Twitter's depressed Darth, was privy to the rapper's follow-up performance as he reports, "Apparently after Coachella, Tupac's hologram met up with Luke, which he was able to prove with the following graphic." And if you think a dead rapper giving a performance is crazy, look out! Mel Gibson is back in the news. As audio of his latest anti-Semitic rant was released last week, even some of the actor-director's fans have had enough of his antics, as was apparent in our reporter Jamieson T, who tweeted, "Mel Gibson is my least favorite Mel Gibson character." I think we can all agree. However, our Jewish celebrity reporter Zach Braff put a positive spin on the latest rant as he tweeted, "Every time Mel Gibson gets secretly recorded saying he hates the Jews, an angel gets a BJ in a hot tub." It's kind of like an outtake from It's a Wonderful Life. You should watch it again. Speaking of life, every so often the death of a celebrity reminds us of how fragile our mortality can be. Since so many lives are touched by the lives of celebrities, it's only fitting that we approach their passing with dignity and respect. With great sorrow, it's now time for our segment, Guess Who Died? That went over well. The answer, of course, is Dick Clark, legendary television host for over 140 years and creator of the New Year's Rockin' Eve. That is a fact. In fact, because of Clark's ties to the annual event, our friends at Some E-Cards summed up the bulk of social media's reactions. Just take a look at it. It's another Mayan joke. Dick Clark has died. We can no longer ring in the new year. Well played, Mayans. Well played. Waka waka. Actually, Ryan Seacrest has been hosting the event for the past several years, which is a fact that Twitter reporter Cynican Oldicus isn't thrilled with, as he observes, "Pretty sure I prefer a zombie Dick Clark to a live Ryan Seacrest." Sorry we can't help you there, but at least now you won't have to. Guess who died? Love that segment. It's now time for holiday news, which is a proper segue. This past Friday was April 20th, commonly known as 420, a day celebrated by marijuana lovers around the world. Wait. What? Doritos. But the holiday is not just a modern one, as correspondent Vocabulary, love that name, tweets, "Abe Lincoln was down with 420. But back then they called it 4-score. Yep. Like other major holidays, some of these standard questions still come up, as Twitter reporter Henry Gamble asks, "How long can I keep up my 420 decorations before the neighbors start complaining?" If your decorations are what we think they are, Henry, piquing your neighbor's interest may be the least of your problems. Put it out there. Coincidentally, another green holiday shared the same weekend, which led to some confusion as Twitter's Becca Hare reports, "The Empire State Building is green for Earth Day. Definitely Earth Day." And finally, many of our reporters pointed out that 420 is also YouTube sensation Adolf Hitler's birthday. That's what he's famous for. This Bond observance is of a somewhat different kind, as reporter Jay Relling tweeted, "Today, hologram Hitler will begin a parade of concert appearances in states where NASCAR is popular." Fun fact, Hitler was Time Magazine's Man of the Year in 1938. I'm serious. Yeah, it's true. From actual Nazis to those who accuse everyone else of being a Nazi, it's now time for politics. What a solid segue. The top story this week involved members of the Secret Service and Armed Forces hiring prostitutes in Colombia while they were preparing for President Obama's recent visit. Many of our reporters were concerned with the financial implications, as disastrous 007 tweets, "Legalizing marijuana could save the U.S. $13.7 billion per year. That's like 1 billion hookers for the Secret Service." And a whole shitload of weed, man. Yeah. Not content with one headline, the Secret Service also made news this week for meeting with shock rocker Ted Nugent. At the NRA National Convention, Nugent stated that he would, quote, "either be dead or in jail by this time next year if Obama were re-elected." That is a fact. Twitter correspondent Josh Comers had the inside scoop on the meeting with, "Secret Service met with Ted Nugent. After being scolded for irresponsible behavior, the Secret Service got a chance to talk." Reporter John Quaintance thought the story may not add up with his tweet, "If a train heads north at 7 a.m. at 70 miles per hour, directly toward a train heading south at 80 miles per hour, how do we get Ted Nugent on one of those trains?" Candidate Mitt Romney's campaign remains on track. We're killing it with segues this week. But he's still having some issues appealing to women, because women don't love robots. As Twitter's LOL GOP reports, new Romney spokesperson used Twitter to make sexist comments. Or, as Republicans call it, he used Twitter. In spite of suspending or aborting his campaign 2 weeks ago, Rick Santorum continues to float to the top of the proverbial porcelain news bowl. We'll let Twitter reporter Christopher Brower explain. Rick Santorum set up a lifetime membership for his 3-year-old daughter. Man, that guy doesn't believe in a woman's right to choose anything. And in a surprise move, former House Speaker Newt Gingrich has not yet left his campaign for another younger one in a better shape. Or without cancer. This week, Gingrich held a campaign event at a zoo in St. Louis where he was bitten by a penguin. Flip Schechter reported on Twitter, "In that penguin's defense, it was hungry, and Newt does kind of resemble a large squid." And now that you have that mental image in your head, a physical image of President Obama and former President Bill Clinton made the social media rounds this week with the topical caption, "Did somebody say Colombian prostitutes?" Funny. We then challenged our audience to see if they could do better for a segment we call Ready for Caption. Our very own Tracy Jane suggested, "This ain't no hologram, bitches." Laura Sedekis had her own take with, "Take it, Barack." Bill, "Just because I'm black doesn't mean I can tap dance." And finally, Tyler Persky suggested, "Damn, I thought I lost him when we passed the interns lounge." With so many submissions to choose from, SNM Network is sorry we don't get to use them all, but it means that next time you should be ready for caption. Yay! In other news, thousands of people flocked to witness the Space Shuttle Discovery as it piggybacked on a 747 to its final resting place in Washington, D.C. We now turn to our Imgur Bureau, who provided us with some great pictures of the final trip. Let's take a look. Pretty sure that's the ambiguously gay. Some technical difficulties. And in other news, admitted Trayvon Martin killer and hoodie aficionado George Zimmerman's bail hearing didn't go as smoothly as planned, as Twitter's fake dispatch informs us. Zimmerman's bail hearing took longer than expected after he attempted to place the judge wearing dark robes under citizen's arrest. That went over well. It's safe to say that this guy needs a straitjacket. Alright, let's move on to sports. And we get to actually have some coverage of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Hooray! Where a violent hit led to a massive suspension, and in the eyes of Twitter reporter Happy Gilmore, the punishment may have been a little tough as he offered an alternative. Rafi Torres gets a 25-game suspension for a hit on Hossa. He should have been forced to go on a date with Chris Brown and see how he likes it. Because Chris Brown is a violent douchebag. It's another fun segue because that's going to do it for this week's SNM Network broadcast. Be sure to tune in next week to get all the best news coverage around and segues, as well as to find out if you or some of the people you know are one of our reporters. And if you find hilarity in everyday social media and you want to contribute to our show, please visit socialnewsmedia.net for instructions on how to do so. And please follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Whoop your ass. For all of us at the SNM Network, I'm Colin Cosell reminding you to watch what you say, because we are. Yeah!